Have you ever looked at someone who's achieved something amazing and just thought, how did they do that? Well, it's almost never just luck. Today, we're going to break down the powerful two-part system that's behind almost all high achievement, and it's a framework you can start building right away.
So let's start with a feeling I think we all know. You've got this massive goal, right? Maybe it's becoming a millionaire, mastering an instrument, whatever. You know you have the potential, but when you look at your day-to-day, it's just not adding up. There's this huge, frustrating gap between who you could be and what you're actually doing. So what's missing? What's the deal?
Well, it turns out the answer is all about building two distinct but totally connected pillars. You can think of it like constructing a skyscraper. You need an unshakable foundation, that's what we'll call the inner game, and you need a brilliant plan for the building itself. That's the outer game. One without the other, the whole thing just crumbles. So here's how we're going to tackle this. First up, Pillar 1, which is all about building unbreakable consistency. Then we'll get into Pillar 2, the millionaire strategy. After that, we'll see how these two actually work together. And we'll wrap up with the final, and maybe most important step, which is the final shift into becoming. Okay, let's pour that foundation. Pillar 1 is all about consistency. This is the inner game. And this has nothing to do with having a perfect strategy. It's about building the psychological engine that just makes sure you show up, day in, day out, no matter what. And this right here, this is the core problem for most of us. We sit around waiting for motivation to strike, but motivation is flaky, right? It's never there when you actually need it. The real secret to the inner game is building systems, habits that run on autopilot. I mean, think about it. You don't get motivated to brush your teeth, you just do it. It's a system. That's the exact feeling we're going for. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Trying to run your life on motivation is just setting yourself up for failure. It's just not there for you on the tough days, when the work actually matters. You need something way more solid. So how do you actually build these systems? Well, here are 4 tactics you can start using today. First, link a new habit to an old one. So if you want to read more, maybe you decide to read 1 page right after you pour your morning coffee. Second, you have to embrace the boring work. Real skill is built through repetition, not through constant novelty. Third, define your bare minimum. On your absolute worst day, what is the smallest possible action you can take to move forward? Just 1 minute of work? Fine, that counts. And finally, create micro rules. These are little if-then statements, like, if it's Monday morning, I spend 30 minutes on my project. It takes the decision-making out of it. All right, now for Pillar 2. If consistency is the engine that makes you go, then strategy is the GPS that tells you where to go. This is the outer game. It's about taking smart, relentless action that gives all that daily effort some real direction. So the first strategic move is to stop guessing and actually identify your millionaire skill. This means doing the research. What fields are actually creating wealth? Once you have a list, you've got to be brutally honest with yourself. Where do your interests, your current skills, and the market opportunities all line up? That sweet spot, that intersection, that's where you start. Pick one thing and go all in on becoming the best. Okay, now for a piece of advice from the source material that's a little provocative. The quote is blunt for sure, but the principle behind it is all about energy. Your environment, who you surround yourself with, is absolutely critical. If the people around you are constantly dragging you down, it's like trying to swim with an anchor tied to your leg. So think about the people in your life in 2 simple categories. You've got your energy drains on one side, the people who pull you back into old habits. And on the other, you've got energy gains, mentors, teachers, role models who pull you forward. The strategy is dead simple. Spend way less time with the drains and spend way more time studying the gains. Find the top 10 people in your chosen field and just devour everything they put out. That kind of intense focus is a game changer. And when you have that intense focus, you can do this. You can take a huge, scary goal and make it feel totally concrete. Becoming a millionaire sounds impossible, but what about making $2,740 a day? Suddenly, it's not a dream. It's just math. Breaking it down like this turns a fantasy into a tangible daily target. It gives your consistent effort a number to shoot for every single day. Okay, so we've built our 2 pillars. We have consistency and we have strategy. But right now, they're just standing there. They're useless on their own. Now we have to connect them. This is where your inner game starts to power your outer game. And here's exactly how they connect. It's actually pretty cool. Look at the table. Your inner game tactic, like the bare minimum rule, becomes a powerful outer game action.
I'll research just one person before I go to that networking event. Habit stacking becomes, I'll listen to my mentor's podcast during my commute. And micro rules become no Netflix until I learn one new thing about sales. You see, your inner systems make your outer strategy actually happen. All right, this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, it's the most profound part of this whole process. All this work, all this consistency, all this strategy, it's not really just about getting a result. It's about fundamentally changing who you are. It's the shift from doing something to being someone. This right here, this is the goal. When you first start, yeah, consistency feels forced. It's hard. But after you do it enough times, a switch flips. It stops being an act you have to perform, and it just becomes part of your identity. You don't have to force yourself to do it anymore because it's simply who you are now. I want you to pay really close attention to the language you use, both with others and with yourself. Saying I'm trying to read more is a statement about effort. An effort can fail. But saying I am a reader, well, that's a statement about your identity. And when you see yourself as a reader, you just naturally do what readers do. You read. So stop saying I'm trying to build a business. Start saying I am an entrepreneur. This isn't just playing with words. It's a deep shift in how you see yourself, and it changes everything. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question. Every small action you take today, it's not just a check mark on a to-do list. It's a vote. It's a vote for the person you are becoming. So with every boring rep at the gym, every single page you read, every small, consistent step you take, who are you telling yourself you are? Who are you becoming today?